Check. Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. Let me turn the music down a little bit. You know. Yeah. Turn the music down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So I can reach out to my people. Yeah, I wanted to reach out to the African American community. We have some. I'm gonna address that real quick. We have some people that putting out the wrong information, and I'm not talking about some other nationality, because in my world, my first priority is to the village, the African village. Then if we want to break it down a little bit more, number one is the family. The right family. Now, nobody don't really talk about that. So, we talk about family, but most people are good people. But there could be a family of 10, and one knucklehead can mess it up. I mean, the dynamics of a family don't only take but one to mess it up. Yes. And if they messing up, you got to let them go. You got to let them go for the sake. Say you got 10 people in the family. A lot of people not gonna be addressing this, but I'm gonna address it. But having a lot of people in the family is a good thing. I come from a large family. See, when I was coming up, I think the average probably was 10. There was some love making going on. Yeah, I like that. Some love making going on in the house. Because I had 14 of us siblings. Yeah, let me get it right. 14 siblings. That was 10 or more was the average. And there wasn't a whole lot of hair raising going on. As you see today, with family health, average 2.5. I'm gonna say the average of 2. It used to be 2.5, but I say 2 now. Especially with people today, there's so many people cross-dressing. You got to call it for what it is. You got to call it for what it is. We can talk about that later, but the main thing right now, it's about the family, people. Understand what I'm saying? It's about the family. Then when I'm talking about the family, there's your immediate family, the first people, first family. Your first family is your blood. Your second family is your neighborhood. Number 3 is your community. Number 4 is the city. Now, when we come talking about African Americans, when it comes to civic engagement, are nowhere to be found. And I'm not just talking about here in Jacksonville, Florida, but around the country. So that's a lot of time. That's why we are not able to get certain things done when it comes to civic engagement in the city. When I talk about city, I'm talking about countrywide in the African American community. Now, when we talk about community, well, we're missing in that too. When we come talk about community, when we talk about community, that's social and civic. When we talk about the community, that's civic and social. Okay, then you come up to the neighborhood. That's more social. Let me say it again. That's more social. Live in neighborhoods. It's a little civic in there, but I'm gonna say 2/3 of it is more social. Well, really, when it comes to the African American community, we not even engaged civilly in our community. You need that on the especially on the neighborhood side and the family. The blood. When we talk about the blood, now let's talk about the blood for a minute. When we talk about blood, you have to have social skills in a family, what we call the blood family, the blood. And sometimes depends on the activity, you have to get rid of them. Some members, you hope that don't happen. I ain't talking about. You have to be able to agree to disagree, without losing focus. But when they get to the point where you cannot agree on anything, then you got a problem, or somebody got to go. Now you can eliminate that if you understand, if you keep your priorities in place, your main priorities: food, shelter, water, air. You gotta be concerned about those four. Now you see, you don't control the air. Well, in a way you can let your government, that's their job. Because you have to be knowledgeable about what they're doing when it comes to that, about the air, because you need it. You have to be concerned about the water, the shelter, the food. I don't see that in the African American community. We could talk about other things, but we're not dealing with our basic needs. That's what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. I got some other things, because we definitely need to be talking about collective economics, putting our dollars and cents together to build. We'll talk about that later, but right now we just talking about the family infrastructure. It's very important. It's very important that you work with your family. Yes, everything is not about you. Now, your life matter. It's your job to make sure that your life matter. As long as you're not disrespecting anybody else. And we fail to do that. Yeah, that's because of our leadership. Let me say it again. That's because of our leadership. It ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn other nationality. Let me say in America, stop. I know what's been going on in the past, still going on today, but like I say, there's laws on the books, and you have to make sure you got yourself in check and have respect for the law and do what you're supposed to do. And then when the law is not protecting your interests, then you need to speak up. That's one of the biggest problems in the African American community, especially when it comes to the leadership. They're happy with their piece of chicken, and all they want you to have is a hot dog and a Coke. When I say they, I'm talking about African American leadership. I'm not talking about no other nationalities. I'm talking about African American leadership. The people who step up, and they get paid. A lot of them get paid, and they still don't do a job. But that's our fault. African people are not holding Africans in leadership. responsible. So you keep wanting to keep playing with it and call it everything else, but it is what it is. And you need to stop messing around with it. Yes, I'm representing my people today. Yeah, I represent my people. I always represent my people, but today is a special day. I'm gonna say a special day of achievement, because I can say for my whole life that I have been concerned and engaged in my community. And I'm not there talking about conversation, I'm talking about in writing. You have the same opportunity. I'm no one special. I just put the time in. Hey, I haven't done anything special. I just put the time in. Your life, if you look at your life, it will tell you what you're doing wrong. Now, the most important thing is having the courage to be honest and admit to yourself that you're wrong. And ain't nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. You got to just make sure you're going to the right people for help. Don't waste your time talking to everybody, especially people who are not decision makers. You can't talk to everybody. That's one thing I learned early in life. Yes, you can't talk to everybody. So, if you want to enjoy the quality of life on whatever level, you want to enjoy the quality of life, you got to put your time in. No matter who you are. Oh yeah, except for unless you're a baby. Much love for the babies. Always. Much love for the babies. That's what we have to be concerned about. That's our priority. But if you want to change your condition, it's up to you. In America. I'm talking about in America. I'm dealing with facts. In America, if you want to change your life for the better, you got to make some changes. If you don't make the changes that give you a good quality of life, then life will treat you to whatever vice you want to get into. There's a price for that too. Everything in life comes with a price. I learned that many years. That made it possible for me to do many things. It make it possible for me to be here right now. See, because I can sit right here and tell my people some facts that'll move them forward. Stop chasing that dollar. Now, let me put the disclaimer now. You need money because you're in a capitalist system. But what is money? When we talk about money, see, because often in the African American community, we talk about money. We talk about money for most of us never achieve. Most never achieve. But you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to be wealthy. Now, when I talk about wealth, whatever you are paying here, say, on the average of what I'm saying, Jacksonville, or 3,000. No, not 3,000. We're gonna do it about a month. $3,000 a month, one person. Yes, in Jacksonville, you can have a pretty good life. You stay within your means, because there's all kind of opportunities. That's right. To live good, ride good. Yes. Have good people in your life. You don't have to be rich. Nothing wrong with being rich now. Nothing wrong with being rich. Wealthy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's opportunity, but I learned in life, if you put your time in, you can make some good money. And when I'm talking about money, I'm talking about, especially in Jacksonville, you do 50 each. 50 each minimum in Jacksonville. You should be all right if you manage your money the right way in Jacksonville. The point here, when it comes to the African American community, we have a bunch of leadership that's not concerned about you. But African American people continue to vote for these people or don't vote for them. The same thing. Whether you vote for them or don't vote for them, you are responsible for the crap they do. And when I'm talking about in the African American community, the African American leadership are not being held accountable. Now, I can call out one that can, where they can have their little parties and they drive by. There's plenty of drive-bys that take place where they spend the money, but they're not making impact. See, to make a difference, you have to get organized. You have to have meetings. You have to put in your 2 cents. You have to bring your intellectual capital and an open mind and be consistent. In the African American community, they may throw the hand up, but they don't have no follow through. Now, let me say it again. My people will throw the hand up. They'll march for one time, and then there's no civic engagement after that. Or if there's some civic engagement, it's reactive. Once again, it's reactive. What do I mean? You late to the party. I've been in numerous meetings, so I'm not someone telling me or something or giving my opinion. I'm in the damn meeting with the folks. In my area, I'm in the meeting with the city council people. Or if I'm not in the meeting, I can see it on Zoom. I have the internet, and I can reach out to them. I can reach out to the news department when it comes to addressing issues in my community. But right now, the issues in my community, the most important issues in my community is ignorance. In the African American community, in the African American community, the number one issue is ignorance. Prime example. I think we spend about over $20 billion in Jacksonville as African American, as consumers. What do we control? What institutions? Yes, I'm talking about African American institution. That's the concern I have. There's no need of me running downtown talking about what they ain't doing and all that stuff. Then when it comes to my neighborhood, we ain't doing nothing to help ourselves. Especially in the land of opportunity. So I'm confused. So, but there's some African American leaders here in Jacksonville, well, around the country, but I'm talking about Jacksonville right here. They're concerned about people. They are only concerned about their check, their quality of life. Hear me out, people, because you can pull it up. You can go to when it comes to the entities or going to city council, the mayor. No, it's public record. You can check and see how much money they make. You can check the bills. You can watch, see the video. You all of it. It's available. All of it's available to you. You don't have to leave home. They post it all the damn time. So what the problem, people? Cause see, when I come in the room, my people be looking around, and then they be giving their opinion about crap, but they don't participate in that. All them activists, they don't participate. None of these activists, they'll come downtown every blue moon, talk about stuff they don't know about because they don't understand the process. The meetings that they need to attend are the committee meetings. The committee meeting. You got more time. You can be more engaged. And you don't need to go to all the meetings. I keep saying that. But for some reason, the African American leadership not engaged. But African Americans, there's a few African Americans here. They got a little crew of probably less than 100 people. Most of them got a little crew, maybe 20 people that support them. Yes. Especially African women, I hold them accountable because they always bringing up religion. I respect religion. That's an individual proposition. That's an individual proposition. And it can be a collective if people want to go and come together. I ain't got no problem with that. That ain't my business. But when I go on a business meeting, I'm not coming to talk about politics. I'm not coming there to pray. And especially I'm not going to pray with people I don't know. I'm talking about African city council people, African American city council staff. Do your job. That's what I'm concerned about. People you got to hold accountable. Now, I will be out here, and the fellas need to get into the political process, run for office, but have your game together and stop with all that politics shit y'all be running. The Democrats, sorry about that, got that wrong. The Republicans, I have to say it for what it is. Republicans is not concerned about our best interests. Now, when it comes to the Democrats, they're concerned about our interests in words during election time. And the reason why that's possible, because we're not engaged. We're not engaged. Then when it comes time for a primary election, we around here talking about who we gonna vote for. Now, what about our interests? What about talking about our interests, what our priorities, what our needs are, and wants? Ain't nothing wrong with wants. We pay tax. Why we don't talk about our wants? Agree on that. Why can't we agree on that? Name the top 3 concerns in the African American community. Somebody reach out and let me know what are the top 3. What's your top 3? Let me put it that way. And then we'll bring it together and go with the majority. Because the majority rule. If the majority makes sense, I'm with you. Let me say it again. If the majority makes sense, and I can comprehend pretty good. Especially I got technology too to help me out, Cause see the phone I have, it'll talk to me. It'll read for me too. So you ain't got no excuse, my people. Yeah, we have no excuse, and it's time for us to call out African Americans who are not engaged. And when I'm talking about African American, I'm talking about African people in America. African people. So whether you want to call yourself black, Negro. I definitely do not agree with that people of color shit. That tell me you're ignorant. If I hear you mention people of color, I don't trust you. If I hear you holler out people of color, I don't trust you. Let me say it again. If I hear you holler people of color, again, I don't trust you. It's just that simple. At this point, people, we need to come together again, because in America, Africans has been through 6 wars. Africans in America, I'm talking about in America, 6 wars. Because all wars are not physical. Most of it is what? Mentally, spiritually, emotional. Let me say it again. Mental, spiritually, and emotional. In your head. African. Now, it's very important that we understand too. But when I talk about war, let me include this fact. There's been physical war too. Slavery, all right? Sharecropping, Jim Crow, education system. We at war now. Africans in America is at war. Cause when it comes to education, in the war today in the Africa America community is self-inflicted, because no nationality should allow another nationality to educate them. I don't even know why we waste time with that. We don't care if they burn the books at the school and all that. Education, true education. There's 2 types of education. One that teach you how to get a job and maintain a job, called a career. Number 2 talks about life skills. Which one you think is most important? Life skills. Our parents, my parents, people younger than me, mother and father had to work. They couldn't go. A lot of them couldn't go to school, or because they had to help their family. And because of racism and other issues. Today we don't have that excuse. A self-inflicted excuse that when it comes to education. But the main point is to understand what we've been through to get to this point when it comes to education. So now that we have the freedom, this is the first time in America we have freedom, full freedom. It will be since the end of civil rights. Since the end of civil rights, now people get it right. Cause a lot of history, people be talking about history, they don't really talk about this part. Yes, full freedom, where we can go and do whatever we want to do when we're ready to do it, and there are laws on the book. So, because of those 6 wars that we've been through in America, we are discombobulated. But as I was doing research on the show, I think about a day or 2 ago, they were talking about they had the same problem in Africa way back there in the past. Because you find you have to. The history showed that they had many languages. That's chaos. Why do you need all them different languages? But that's some more research that I need to do and answer a question. But the point is, as African people, we have to be concerned about the family. Let me say it again. We have to be concerned about the family. You're on limited time. Stop wasting time. And if stuff you don't understand, ask for help. The most important thing when it comes to dealing with help, getting help, is that you go to people who are decision makers or people who have a proven track record of being open-minded. That's important too. But we'll be addressing that issue here. That's not an issue at this present time. Most important thing that I want my people to understand this present time. The most important thing I want you to understand this time. Now is the time. The best system, political system, is democracy. I don't care what party you come from. It's freedom to say what's on your mind. The freedom to select who you want or date or marry or whatever case may be. The freedom to go when you get ready. Freedom to have good quality of life. That's what in America. Very important, people. So we're talking about democracy. Not a party, not the Republican Party, not the Democratic Party. Whoever can give us democracy is what we're concerned about. That's why we march. That's why we do what we do. Now, I need those leaders, African American leaders who have been riding for free. Let me put it that way. Been riding for free for the last 40, 50 years. You either lead, follow, or get the hell out the way. Because it's time we call them out. Call them out on social media. You don't see that often in the African American community when you be on social media talking about African American leadership. Unless what? They highlight them about something they said. But when I'm talking about showing progress in our community and what they're doing wherever they are in the country, African American leadership, yeah. What people show you, believe them the first time. So it's okay to talk. Show me. And I'm asking African American leaders. So let me say this before I go. Because sometimes we'll be checking the information out of someone or talking about what's going on in our community. You got some Africans that say, well, what have you done? Yeah, what you doing? Well, I have a extensive track record. I want to put that out there. Let me say this. I don't even need to go deep. You can Google the city of Jacksonville. Google my name, and it'll show the meetings, my comments. Yes, my public comments, numerous places in City Hall and in government entities all over Jacksonville. Now I'm just talking about in City Hall. I'm not even talking about places that I've been in the military, places that I've done it as a civilian. We don't have time for all that because it's extensive. I mean, extensive. Yeah, good track record. Going back, I got over 40 years in civil rights, military, civilian, contractor, whole 9 yards. I'm talking about dealing with civil rights, court system, all that. So let's not waste time here with all that, because also a lot of African people in the United States are in denial. A lot of them just don't know. That's what I'm talking about, their ignorance. It's off the chain. And I'm not talking about people who not making good money. I'm talking about a lot of them have good jobs and stuff, but they still ignorant because they're not concerned about what's going on in the community, in the block. I'm not talking about in the city. I'm talking about in the block. They were just concerned about what was going on in the block. A lot of things will change. And once again, I'm talking about the working class African Americans. They make money in Jacksonville on the average of $30,000 up to $200,000 per year. I can say that because as a subject matter expert, I deal with the numbers we call economics, the GDP. So what I'm saying here, I need my people to understand racism is still a problem. Covert racism is still a problem. But it's not number one on the list anymore. For the last 40, 50 years, ignorance in the African American community, especially among the leadership, is what hinder our people. Now, so we don't have to deal with that no more. We know what we need to do, and it don't have to be all of us. At least anywhere from 10 to 30% of us, right, need to be working together and build economics. And when I talk about economics, $1 million to $100 million gross receipts. The word let me put it on the line of the gross receipt. Now, $1 million to $100 million gross receipt with your business. That way you have a good lifestyle. You can have employees. You can own the brick and mortar building. You own the property, right? So we good. We know what we must do from this point on, regardless of party. Now we know what we want when we come talking about the system we want, right? Democracy. Now we know what we need to do as far as economics. I'm on that. I'm all on it. Let me say it again. I'm all on it. Now, give you an example. There's Boss Watkins. So if I make a mistake on anybody's name, I apologize for that. But there's Boy Watkins. Right. Whether you like them or not, good people. There's Roland Martin. Very knowledgeable. Great for facts. Now let me say it again. Roland Martin is good for what? Great for facts. Civic facts. He off the chain. He got a mind off the chain. You can call it decent time. Got me beat. Okay. Then we got Umar. Umar is good for the family infrastructure. Hear me out. There's others now. I'm just going to hit a few right quick. Umar Johnson. But family infrastructure. Now, when it comes to education here, Godfrey, I apologize if I get the spell the name wrong. Godfrey Candidate. Now, look him up. He's in Harlem when it comes to education. All right? Because we're dealing with what? The art, the right? African art, African history, and STEM or STEAM technology. You got that. Right? Then put the rest of I gotta put my man in here because I deal with the collective economic part of it. But when it comes to that, Yakeem, pull him up on Facebook. Yakeem. Now I'm rolling with him. He the one. Him and my son hit me to the herbal, how to clean myself up. Look at that now. Yeah, that's yeah. They hooked me up. Just changing my diet, people. Change your diet. Don't sit up there and look like that, regardless of age. Don't roll like that. Go to the market, get what you need. You got to give up some things too, mentally, physically. That's the way it is. That's life. So understand, there are some good brothers out here. We need to get organized. I call out a few. Yes, Steve Perry too. Yeah. Oh, call man. Now, let me say this before I go. The richest African in America is not Oprah, not Jay-Z. Who do you think it is? I think his name is Charles Smith. He in the stock market. Charles Smith. Now, there's plenty other Africans out here that we need to reach out to. That's all you basically need. You don't need to go to everybody. Go to people with a proven track record. Go to people with a proven track record and invest in them. Or really, you just follow. Because most of them want you to be successful. Let me say it. So you don't even have to get that in your head. Get it twisted. Most successful Africans want Africans to be successful. Make sure you got that. Once again, my name is Stanley Scotland with the African American Economic Recovery Think Tank in Jacksonville, Florida. I wanted to send out much love and respect to my people around the world. Thank you.